Admiral Zekskala's four compound eyes focused intently on the holographic battlefield display as the Galactic War Academy's most advanced combat simulation began. Around him, military cadets from 17 different species watched with eager anticipation. Today's exercise would finally answer the question that had puzzled strategists for decades. Why were humans banned from participating in galactic warfare by unanimous vote of the Intergalactic Council? Initiating Scenario 7 Alpha announced the Academy's AI. Standard Fleet Engagement. Two forces of equal strength. Observer species, human. Combat participants. Draconian Empire versus Crystalline Hegemony. The simulation materialized around them, a three-dimensional battlefield spanning several light minutes, with massive fleets of warships positioning for engagement. The humans, represented by a small observer vessel commanded by Captain Rodriguez, were restricted to monitoring only. Remember, cadets, Admiral Zekskala lectured, this simulation uses actual tactical data from the Seventh Sector War. Both sides employed their finest strategists and most advanced weaponry. The conflict lasted 18 months. The simulation began. Draconian dreadnoughts, each the size of a small moon, launched swarms of fighter craft while their opponents responded with reality-warping crystal ships that could phase in and out of normal space-time. Plasma cannons traded fire with dimensional rifts, creating spectacular explosions across the virtual battlefield. For the first hour, everything proceeded as expected. The Draconians used their traditional overwhelming force approach, while the crystalline forces employed hit-and-run tactics with their phase technology. It was a textbook demonstration of advanced galactic warfare. Then Captain Rodriguez made a simple observation. "Excuse me," her voice crackled through the simulation's communication array, "but why aren't either of you targeting the supply lines?" Admiral Zekskala's translator sparked with confusion. "Supply lines? This is fleet combat, human. We engage enemy vessels directly. But those massive ships need fuel, ammunition, spare parts," Rodriguez continued, her tone genuinely puzzled. "I can see 17 different logistics vessels feeding each fleet. Take those out, and the big ships become floating scrap metal within hours." The simulation paused as every alien cadet turned to stare at the admiral. In 3,000 years of recorded galactic warfare, no species had ever deliberately targeted non-combat vessels. It was simply not done, like attacking medics or destroying food supplies during ground conflicts. Resume simulation. Admiral Zekskala commanded, his carapace shifting to an uncomfortable yellow hue. But Captain Rodriguez wasn't finished. "Also, you're both fighting in a straight line. Why not use the asteroid field to mask approach vectors? And that moon has a gravity, well, that could slingshot smaller vessels." Pause simulation. Admiral Zekskala commanded, his voice echoing with growing alarm. The human continued, oblivious to the mounting horror around her. "If I were running this engagement, I'd send a small force to capture that communications relay on the outer planet while the main fleets were distracted. Control the information flow, control the battle. Then use the relay to broadcast false retreat orders to their reserves." A crystalline cadet's harmonic resonance shifted to frequencies of pure terror. She's talking about deception, lies, in warfare, and psychological warfare too, Rodriguez added helpfully. Broadcast recordings of their casualties to their families back home. Nothing demoralizes troops faster than knowing their loved ones think they're already dead. Admiral Zekskala's carapace had gone completely black, a color his species reserved for existential threats. He finally understood why the ancient Galactic Council had unanimously voted to exclude humans from all military conflicts. "Captain Rodriguez," he said slowly, "in your assessment, how long would this engagement take using human tactics?" There was a pause as the human considered. "Oh, maybe 6 hours? Most of that would be travel time to reach the command vessels after we'd disabled their fleets." The simulated 18-month conflict hung frozen in the air around them as the implications sank in. A young Vorthan cadet spoke in a trembling voice. "Admiral, if humans think like this naturally, and they've been developing military doctrine for thousands of years. Admiral Zekskala's form began emanating stress pheromones. Class dismissed, and Cadet, send an immediate priority message to the Galactic Council. Recommend we increase the buffer zone around human space. Immediately, as the students filed out in stunned silence, Captain Rodriguez's voice echoed one final time through the simulation chamber. Oh, and Admiral, this scenario assumed both sides actually wanted to win. If humans were involved, we'd probably just convince both fleets to join us and go attack whoever started the war in the first place. The lights in the war room dimmed as Admiral Zekskala finally understood. Humans weren't banned from galactic warfare to protect humanity. They were banned to protect everyone else.